How you been?
Man, I've been well. I've been well. I can't complain at all.
You look good, brother. You look
Man, you know
good.
I'm trying, man. You the one superstar. The weather's warm,
Oh man.
so I'm kind of starting my spring cleaning and all that kind of stuff, getting stuff done around the house. Still contemplating about whether or not I'm going to take this vaccine or not, or am I going to wait another generation of vaccines to come out? Just to see how everything's going. Either way, I'm cool. Lord has kept me. I haven't contracted the virus
Yeah.
far, and I figure between the vaccines and then herd immunity, I'll probably be
You
okay.
might be okay anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
but we'll definitely see. But how about you? Tell me about how your first week has been going.
Yeah, man. Well, you had mentioned the vaccine. Just to let you know, I just got my first shot. I got mine though because of the campaign. Like
Right.
knowing that I'm at to get up and out,
Yeah,
I might as well. I had the opportunity. I was like, you know what? Let me just get it anyway.
no doubt.
But okay, so yeah, man. I didn't actually have a goal for the first week.
Okay.
I had no goal. I had a things to do list, but that was it. No actual goal. Reason being is because one, I'm doing it from my website where people are like going to the specific platform that they're used to, whether it be the iTunes or the Spotify. I already knew going into it where I'm going to start my very first 30 days. We're going to basically be my sphere of influence first. You know how like social media works is when you post, you really only get to reach like maybe 6 to 7% of your actual following.
Yeah, unless you're doing to pay for banners
Yep,
and all that
exactly. So I knew it would probably take me, I kind of did the math on it. I figured it would take me a good like 30 days before I would know for a fact that I have a good reach out of my current following.
Okay.
This kind of one does two things for me. One, it gives everybody that's been currently following me like a heads up on everybody else. So by the time they start seeing like new faces pop up in the comments, they'll kind of feel like they started from day one.
Okay.
Part two to that, with the website, with distributing the album that way, I didn't know if I was going to run into any hiccups at all. And the only one hiccup that I kind of came across, and luckily I identified it before I launched it, was that Android phones, they got rid of the Google Play and now have the YouTube Music. But what they didn't do is like they didn't just convert it automatically. Like the person literally has to go and download the free YouTube Music app. Otherwise, if they download an MP3, there's nothing to play it on anymore.
Correct.
So I did have like 2 or 3 people reach out to me like, hey, I have no idea how to play the album. So I had to kind of walk them through it. With that being said, my first week in a nutshell, I had 467 site sessions.
Okay.
Out of those, 373 were unique visitors. So 373 people actually went to the site. Then time duration, which is really cool to me, is they're spending on average, the average is 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Now, the reason why it's so long, even though all I have is the album to download, is because with the widget, it gives like people the ability to, test it for 30 seconds. So some people are going on there not knowing how to download and they're just listening to the samples.
Right.
It's kind of like a give or take for me on that because I kind of like having that average being so high in terms of being able to do other things with the site later on. But then I also need to figure out a way that people know also how to download. So I might need to make a couple of notes on the site that's like, click this. So out of the 373 people, 92 downloads on the album. Between the singles, there's another like 16 downloads. So some people were downloading the singles.
Just your website, correct?
Yeah, this is all just within the website. And because of the people that were sampling the songs, I have somewhere in the midst of about 1,200 plays from the site, which would be the reason why I have that 4-minute average time span.
And you still have not uploaded this to any of your distribution sites? When do you plan on doing that?
I want to do that like the last week of that 30-day mark. So then say somebody goes onto YouTube and then they go onto Spotify and they start running the numbers up on there. By the time I start doing my in-person campaign, it's kind of like I'm a month ahead of myself, where I already have like an organic base that kind of pushed my numbers up a little bit. So anybody's just clicking onto my site, then going to my Instagram, or then going to YouTube or Spotify, and it's like they're early to the party. At least they'll feel like they're a
Okay.
little late to the game.
So in some ways, while I'm helping you think and get this thing through, in some ways you may be enlightening me a bit, because in the gospel world, it wouldn't work like that at all. In the gospel world, it's about one little thing hinders momentum. Usually it's typically dead. So this is really interesting to me, the fact that you can do it this way, and then in 30 days you're confident that you'll get more. So I guess you may be able to sense some of the uneasiness on my part, because I'm sitting there looking like, well, I know I could tell a whole bunch of people to check it out, but it would just be easier for me.
Yeah, if it's on Spotify and YouTube.
I can just send out my links on Apple Music. People just gonna listen because I just sent it out to them. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but if you say you got it, you got it. I mean, that algorithm and that logic, you know, that's totally on yours. Like I said, you know, it's enlightening to me. So I'm really interested to see, you know.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to not have to be on any of those digital platforms, honestly, because when you really think about what it is that those platforms are doing, they're basically controlling your traffic, and they're selling that traffic. That traffic has a value, and they're just selling that and making the bulk of their money from that. Now, when you look at the digital platforms like iTunes and the Google Play Store or whatever, you're talking just the download prices, right? And then in which you go through a third party type distributor. So by the time you get paid out on one download, it's like, what do you make? Like 50, 60 cents maybe on a single download. So in a perfect world, I would love to do without. It's just, it's actually impossible to do that right now. So my idea is I want to control my traffic. I could do that as long as I'm promoting to my website first, then allowing them the ability to go and stream and stuff on YouTube and Spotify and all of that.
What does that do for?
What does that do for me?
What does it do for your sound scan? What does that do for your ability to get some kind of sonic recognition? While I get it, right now, the only person that's able to do that kind of stuff and eat good is Beyonce. So what do we do until we get to Beyonce's level?
Same way that YouTube kind of operates or Spotify operates. Sure, you could do a subscription so you don't have to watch the ads, but essentially anybody can use it and stream for free. But the caveat is you have to watch the ads. And through those ads, in your time spending watching these videos and streaming this music, they turn around and sell off that advertisement space. And that's where they make their money at. So if I know that, then what is essentially stopping me from doing the exact same thing for myself?
Pause. Send me your jean jacket and your hoodie. Okay, go back.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Who was the rapper? Was it Lil Wayne? It was somebody. One of them jokers about 15, 20 years ago was killing jokers on the underground with their underground mixtapes.
Oh, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne.
It was Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
He was on top of it, but the crazy thing was nobody knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was just mixtape famous.
Exactly.
Now, he ain't pop until he went mainstream. So I get it. This is like your mixtape thing. Now, going back to, you know, guiding you, I would much rather you've been doing this with one song. With music, the crazy thing is once it's gone, it's gone. And I don't want it to be gone without you having really gotten all
that I could have got at it. The digital platforms are specifically scheduled to drop those 30-day, like.
You think I'm gonna sit up here and still be hyped and come back and download it again?
Yeah, hell yeah.
No,
But here's why. the current following, I don't want you to go and download it again. I want you to have the convenience now that you've already downloaded it on your phone, that if you use Spotify or you use YouTube to listen to your music, now you have just the convenience to listen to it within there. Ultimately, I'm not going to accomplish my goal within my current following. So at the end of the day, my current following is like my core foundation, like base, but it's not going to accomplish my goal. If I only relied on people within my core following to get me there,
Of course.
it'd be like that luck factor that I'm playing at that point. I'm expecting to do the majority of the bulk of the goal, getting my black ass up out in these streets and handing my music away. Then they go to my site first, then go to do whatever they're going to do, Spotify or whatever. It never appears to be old. They're not going to see the sense of it being old. Because if I just met you today, and even though I actually dropped it a week ago, you wouldn't know by the time you got to my site if it just dropped that day or not.
I mean, that's true. But however, for your ratings, that does matter.
It does. That's
at the end of the day, you can do all of this. If you don't get placement on Billboard, it don't matter. I don't care if you
but
get.
But do we need Billboard, P? Do we need it? Do we need Billboard?
Yes, you do.
We do?
Let me explain something to you. Even if you don't do the digital releases with, at least you got to get this YouTube channel popping and get it popping tonight. Popping tonight. Like just your everyday life, and you talking about your music and your plan. Like you got to do something with that now, because you don't get a lot of chances when it's your season. You need to put the biggest, heaviest, sweetest, and largest amount of fruit on your tree ASAP, because when your season is gone, sometimes it can come back, but God is not obligated to let you get your season again. When it's your season, you got to show out.
I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm gonna find that balance of pushing more and just kind of find that nice middle ground.
All right, Chief.
All right. I appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Peace.